episode 4. This is going to be a shorter one, largely because it's going to be a shorter one. Let's get straight into it, therefore. Let's not waste any time. By shorter, I mean like 15 odd minutes. I already started my timer, and there were all sorts of considerations that I wanted to do before hitting record. So, as I said, I want to put a thickness line there so that we know that we're dealing within the third hypermeter. And the thick line down the middle gives us what do you call it? The 8-bar split. For those of you who are new, in episode 3 I explained all this nonsense about hypermeters, or maybe if you skipped episode 3, I explained all the stuff about hypermeters and how they, typically 8 bars, etc., 16 bars. So go to episode 3 if you want to catch up on where we are there, but here we are pressing ahead. So we got to this point where this had been, we sort of built up to the entry of the kick, which is, I guess we can label that as entry point, main entry point number 1. I won't label it here in the score. Just try and keep a note of it. Yes, man. Let's be efficient. Just use a hand. There we go. Okay, so first 16 HM, 16 BHM is equal to, don't worry what I'm writing down, it's just my own gibberish, is equal to shaker plus wood block. Wood block enters after 8. Anyway, and then the next 16 bar is E piano chords plus kick. Again, this one is also after 8. All right. So once we're in, let's just listen to it again because we want to get into the vibe. As I mentioned, there'll be like windy kind of atmospheric sounds, or maybe just a lot of reverb. I don't know. The woodblock has a lot of reverb in the Sibelius MIDI stuff. That would be transitioned with some kind of a landing soft kick. So I'm considering that there will be vocals, but I won't sing. We're not going to whip out Peter Daniel, so to speak. Rather, what we're going to do is I'll probably make this a poem track, because poem tracks are cool as far as I'm concerned. So that, because this is pretty much going to continue like this. I think it works like that. Let me actually put that in there. Put what in? A right symbol Apologies for the noise. I'm sure the guys are hard at work trying to do their thing. Do I want a right symbol there? Maybe I need to put the world's most difficult and famous instrument, the triangle. By the way, triangle players are epic. You know why? Because they don't just play triangle, they play all sorts of other percussion stuff, and pretty epic. Let's make this soft. Even softer, maybe even softer here. Look, if this is going to be the softer of the two and I wanted to separate the eights, then this has to be the right symbol. No, don't show me biting my tongue. That's my concentration mode. Actually, do I want that there? Let's see without it. I think it's better like that. Okay, definitely. Gonna have a right symbol here. Gonna have a right symbol here. Gonna have a right symbol here. Gonna have a. So, I think in episode 3 I mentioned that we're going to have not a right symbol here, but we're going to have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's put in our thick bar line there. We're going to have a string build up. Alright, so we need to set up a string section. We go already in orchestral. No, that's orchestral percussion, right? Let's get orchestral. Instruments. So we need to set up a string section. And what do I want? That's interesting. Should we just set it up as, well, if it's going to be paired, then let it be false. So we're going to need a violin 1, a violin 2, violoncello, and a contrabass. And the contrabass will double up as a log drum in pizzicato. Look at that. Beautiful. So I'm a big fan of starting with the violas, like this kind of mid. So let's do this. Just wanted to softly enter. How do you do that again? Legato. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. It's not important for now. Although it's a bit ridiculous calling something legato when there's no melodic movement, but I guess I want a certain vibe. I want a vibe. Let's keep it low because I want it to be low, down, low, low, down. That was too loud. I wonder if putting 4 P's will matter. I don't think it will. So my concern is that it's a bit too noticeable, and maybe the problem is that I've put these too low. Keep doing that. No wonder. My timer has gone off, but I think you can spare about 2 more minutes. So I'm very much operating by ear, and I'm also very much operating at the lower limits of what the violin can do. Let's just hear this. Not really checking for harmonic intervals, but the ear is powerful. Anyway, that's it for this episode. I know we're pretty much sped through that one, and it's good for stimulating a certain degree of interest. It's like, what the hell did that guy just do? I'm giving myself too much credit. But yeah, in the next episode, we will develop this string theme a little bit more, and I'll explain a little bit more about how I'm thinking about the development of this beautiful beat as it's unfolding. Guys, it's online, it's looking, or it's sounding really good. But anyway, there we are.